Barthelemy has a straight left-hand snap. He had his time, he had his moment, but Ramirez came right back, digging away and banging away at the body. Just a good back and forth. Barthelemy saying it didn't bother him, but he was slowly getting broken down. But in between the shots, he was still landing that left hand, getting the respect back from Ramirez.
Look at this work on the inside from Ramirez, just absolutely relentless. And, you know, he figured out that contrary to what he thought would work in this fight, moving in and out, jabbing from the outside, he had to do away with that quickly because that was putting him in danger.
No, he had to do a lot more because Barthelemy had the right game plan. You know, you got to give him credit. He wasn't here to compete with the volume of Ramirez, but he was there to catch it with a sneaky shot. That's what old Sly veterans do, just like that. See that left hand right there? That kept Ramirez from not punching and getting his combinations going. And Barthelemy had enough pop to keep Ramirez honest in this fight.
A big win for Jose Ramirez in his return, and he is standing by with Chris Mannix.
Well, Jose, congratulations. You come away with the win. Although about 4 rounds in, I was starting to wonder, were we going to see another big upset here on DAZN? How'd you feel about your performance?
No, it wasn't the best performance, but I want to thank, first and foremost, I want to thank God. Quiero agradecerle a Dios por las bendiciones, por tanto amor aquí en el público de Fresno, de vais a entrar. I want to thank Jesus, man. Now going back to my fight, it wasn't the best performance in my career. You know, I think I got overly excited. You know, I think I felt cold during that fight. You know, I could hear people screaming my name, and I could see familiar faces and ringside. So I was, you know, there was times in the fight, many times in the fight where I was losing, I was getting distracted.
A couple rounds in, it looked like exactly the kind of fight that you wanted. Then you just couldn't seem to get away from that left hand of his. What adjustments did you have to make?
Yeah, I knew that, you know, that's all he does. He goes into that southpaw and throws that left hand. You know, and during that moment in that round, I swear I could, you know, I got distracted from the fight and I got hit with one punch and it motivated him. You know, if that wouldn't have happened, if I wouldn't have get distracted, if that wouldn't have happened, I think he would have just, you know, I would have broken spirit. But, you know, I think that punch of his kind of kept him in the fight. You know, it kept him believing that he could probably do it again. So that was a lesson learned for me.
You train for an orthodox opponent. He switches styles a lot. How much did that style switching bother you early on?
Well, it seemed like it did, but honestly, I fought many guys who were southpaws in my career. You know, it was just something that I had to adapt and I tried to do it, but, you know, some of that rust, man, I fought twice in the last, 3 years, so fighting once a year is obviously not a good look. So, you know, I was a little rusty in there.
Yeah, first fight in 13 months. It's your third fight in the last 3 years. How much do you think that contributed to a little sluggishness early on?
Yeah, no, big time. You know, and an active fighter that's not good. You know, it's not good to be inactive. But hey, you live, you learn. I go back to the drawing board and back to the gym and get ready. You know, I feel like I have what it takes to compete against the best 140-pounders, and I just gotta stay consistent. You know, obviously, you know, I don't know after this performance. You know, I know I won the fight, and I knew many rounds I won them, and I took it easy and just kind of winning the rounds. But that's not how I fight. You know, I like to go in there and live my heart. You know, instead of just box and win the fight. And I know that's what the fans like to watch, and I want to apologize for not giving that version of Jose Ramirez. But you know, I wish to get back in the gym again and you know, get started where I left off.
It's obvious, it was obvious this week that the stress of finding a new promoter and your exit from Top Rank, that had an effect on you. Was it in a way therapeutic to get back into the ring, get back doing what you love?
Yeah, you know, I know what I could do inside that ring. So once I was in the ring, you know, just being me, there was a couple of rounds where I felt like, you know, the fight was in my hands, and I just, you know, I was able to do whatever I wanted, you know. But in the higher level of competition, when it comes to facing the best, you can't give them no encouragement like the way I gave him an encouragement. You know, I was a much better, stronger, faster fighter. I had more tools in my toolbox, you know, than he did. He only had one punch that he was trying to do, and it was my fault that one punch kept him in the fight, kept him motivated, and you know, that's the reason why I win the distance. In the 11th round, I hurt him with the body shot, with a jab to the body, you know. And if I would have just been me since the first round, I think I would have taken him out early.
You said you want to face the best. You're still a player at 140 pounds, a former unified champion. What's the fight you want next?
Anybody at 140, man. It's not for me to be active, you know. I don't want to sit around. Whoever Oscar De La Hoya and Golden Boy Promotions, the whole staff and my team has in mind for me to face next. It doesn't matter who it is. I'm ready to fight anybody. And you know, the fights like this where you know, you don't look your best, but then you come and you fight and you stay motivated in the gym, and then the next fight you become a different animal. So that's what I hope to do.
It's your 8th fight here at Save Mart Center, 3rd straight coming back home. I'm told that the attendance tonight set a record for any fight here at Save Mart, set a record for your fights. What do you have to say about the support you get here in Central California?
Yeah, I'm very thankful for all the support, man. The Central Valley is a home of a lot of hardworking people, very family-oriented. And if you go out there with the stands and talk to the people, you realize it's a family-oriented place where you see grandparents, fathers, and their kids come together to watch a fight. So I'm thankful with Oscar De La Hoya for giving me the opportunity, and Golden Boy Promotions, and Robert Garcia, my manager, Rick Merrigan, my family, for making this all possible.
I'll let you get back to your kids. Seem to want your attention right here. Congratulations, Jose. Oscar, we'll turn to you briefly. What did you think of Jose's performance?
I thought it was a great performance against a power puncher, an Olympian. It was his first fight back over a year. Got the rust out, on to the next, on to bigger and better things.
All right, so what is bigger and better for Jose Ramirez?
He's ready for a world title. Might have one more fight, but I think he's ready for a world title against any 140-pound champion of the world.
All right, Oscar, appreciate it.
Thank you.
Guys?
Thank you so much, Chris. So an apologetic Jose Ramirez, but he won nonetheless, and the fans will leave here happy. A record-setting crowd here at the Save Mart Center in Fresno. Jose Ramirez still in the aftermath, and Sergio, I think he had, you know, some very salient analysis there. I liked what he said about the fact that Barthelemy landing that left hand, that belief, that kept him in this fight.
No, it did, and that's the thing about veterans. You know, they know that it only takes one punch. Barthelemy does have that one punch, and he got the man hurt. I mean, when you have a fighter that's as popular as Ramirez here in his hometown, and you have him shook and scared like that, that's all you need for the momentum. Even though you are 38 years old, that adrenaline rush comes in. That's the reason Barthelemy was able to shake off those scary moments. I mean, it was a better fight than people expected. The crowd here loved it. Fireworks in Fresno, and Ramirez, you know, credit to him. He wasn't satisfied with his performance, and I understand why.
When we take a look at the final CompuBox punch stats, you see Ramirez outlanding Barthelemy 194 to 98, throwing 554 total and landing at a 35% clip. Again, the accuracy of Barthelemy, that was the story all night long. What he threw, almost half of it landed, almost all of it was dangerous or looked dangerous, but there just wasn't enough of it. The younger, fresher, better fighter tonight was Jose Ramirez.